Then after that, is this road sign offensive? We'll recognise it. It's put up outside old folks' homes to make us drive more carefully. But charities reckon it's insulting to coffin dodgers, showing them as hunchbacks and doddery.
You're going to be a popular man.
That statement itself contained an insult. But are they right? It's 27 years old. This sign, does that offend you? Or is it simply a generic symbol? Should we be replacing the elderly people sign, or are claims it's discrimination just crazy political correctness? Let me know later. Then, is this road sign offensive? It's put up... I don't really know what that laugh means.
We've had a lot of complaints about your terrible expression.
I
think you ought to apologise to people.
Are you referring to the phrase coffin dodgers?
Yes, I think you ought to apologise now.
Yeah. Even this audience are turning against me now.
Quite right.
Quite right, so you should.
OK, we have had a lot of complaints. I apologise. It was not my choice of words. It was in the script, and it's true, I should have taken responsibility for those words, Carol.
Yes.
I did see the script, I do tend to make adjustments before the show, and I could have taken that phrase out.
But you didn't.
No, I didn't. Was it wrong to leave it in?
No!
You'll be old one day.
This is an audience divided. Anyway, in all sincerity, if you were offended by that, I am sorry. I was only being silly and a bit cheeky. But anyway, back to the sign itself. It's put up outside old folks' homes to make us drive more carefully, but charities reckon it is insulting to elderly folk, showing them as hunchbacked and doddery. Are they right to defend you? Or is it simply a generic symbol? Should we be replacing the elderly people sign, or are complaints about it just kind of crazy political correctness? 0207 173 5555. Start with Jeremy Milnes.
Well, you know, let's get this into perspective. Yes, this is an outdated sign, but what's the purpose of the sign? The idea of the sign is to make drivers aware of elderly people as they drive through areas where old people live, or whatever. Yeah, of course. So, you know, were I an old elderly person, and one day I will be, would I be concerned about that, or would I be concerned about my own health and safety and thinking that drivers are going to be made aware and slow down? That's the priority. Get people to slow down. We all know that old people don't look like that, right?
And also, well, some do.
Well, OK, some do, but the point is it offensive? My priority...
Deserve a second chance. If not, then who? Let's talk about this shortly. Give us a call, 0207 173 5555. But first, is this road sign offensive? To you, it may be just... I'm already a bit nervous about reading this introduction. To you, it may be a simple road sign, but old people's charities say it's insulting and should be scrapped. Age Concern and Help the Aged say the hunchbacked figure hobbling on a walking stick should be got rid of because it doesn't reflect today's fitter, healthier senior citizens. It's better. They're suggesting lower speed limits and road humps instead of the sign. So the Highways Agency has said it won't be changing anything. Apparently it would cost hundreds of thousands of pounds. I mean, a change in the law. Rules introduced in 2003 got rid of the words elderly people underneath the image on the grounds the caption was ageist. So, should we do away with the picture as well? Start with Jeremy Milnes.
Well, you know, let's get this into perspective. Yes, this is an outdated sign, but what's the purpose of the sign? The idea of the sign is to make drivers aware of elderly people as they drive through areas where old people live, or whatever. Yeah, of course. So, you know, were I an old elderly person, and one day I will be, would I be concerned about that, or would I be concerned about my own health and safety and thinking that drivers are going to be made aware and slow down? That's the priority. Get people to slow down. We all know that old people don't look like that, right?
And also, well, some do.
Well, OK, some do, but the point is it offensive? My priority would be just make sure that people are safe when they're crossing the road or whatever. That's the point.
I suppose, in a way, Carol Malone, you have to trade in caricatures, don't you? When you're trying to illustrate with essentially a bit of a basic drawing that the sign represents old people, you can't draw the contemporary, fitter, healthier, more upright old people because it wouldn't mean anything.
I mean, I haven't thought about it before, but now that I have thought about it, it is an effective sign because when I see that, I do slow down. However, having said all of that, if it upsets elderly people, then it should be got rid of. You know,
what do you put instead? Just write old people on a sign.
No, you don't write anything. Elderly people.
What, so have no sign?
Well, can I just finish saying that? Elderly people have a hard enough time in society. They are stereotyped elderly people. They have a hard enough time getting respect. It's why, once you get past 65, people think you're written off. You don't count. And this reinforces that kind of prejudice, I think. I'm looking at the audience here, and there's quite a few of them that are probably of pensionable age.
Yeah,
and they're livelier than you probably be of a night time, my loves. They've got more energy about them than you have. So I don't
what do you
think
put on the sign instead? I feel like I ask you this question a lot this week,
You
criticise a lot. What's your solution? What's the alternative?
Look, Richard, I'm not in charge of London's roads, which is what you said to me that I should have a solution. I'm not in charge of road signs.
You never have any solutions, Carol. All you do is criticise.
Well, that's what I'm here for, isn't it? I'm here to give an opinion.
It's good,
And it's not a criticism. What I said to you was, I think it's an effective sign. However, I think if it's insulting and disrespectful to elderly people, it should be replaced. They deserve respect. They should not feel disrespected by a road sign.
OK.
That's my feeling.
Greg, thank you, Carol. Greg, do you think it's disrespectful to...
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you think it's disrespectful to elderly people?
I think it's disrespectful to elderly people.
Why? What's disrespectful about it?
Well, because it's portraying them as old and doddery with walking sticks. So it's a nice man on the telly, dear, talking about the road signs. They must be all over Bournemouth. I can't actually remember ever seeing this sign. Go on, what?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. It's an iconic sign.
I'm a responsible driver anyway. I wouldn't drive faster or slower.
You're not a responsible driver if you've never noticed that sign.
Can I just say, I saw a sign outside a butcher's, actually, near Richmond, and it said, like, beef £3, pork chops £2, bacon £1.75, OAP's half price. Honestly.
All right, let's go to the audience off the back of that gag. Eric, who have you got?
We've got two OAPs beside me. So first of all, it's Bob. Hello, Bob.
Hello, Bob.
Is that offensive?
Bob, how old are you, Bob?
I'm 60 next week.
OK.
I'm looking forward to getting my freedom pass and me eyesight tested and everything. It's going to be great.
OK, but you're not a pensioner.
I'm not till next... No, I'm not a pensioner. No. I run 10.5 kilometres an hour in my gym while I watch the right stuff in the morning. And there's a lot of older people in the gym. We're not like people of my grandparents' generation. No. It's different these days. And I can appreciate that the sign is good, that it points out that people are there. But I go with Carol... Somebody cheer. I'm going with Carol that it is disrespectful, it is undignified, that old people are portrayed as really old and doddery with walking sticks. I think we need another sign, something more modern and something more up-to-date.
Look, Bob, I do agree. I do take the point, but it's just a sign trying to communicate a simple message, and I realise that older people now are not like their parents or their grandparents' generation. I see the difference. But a silhouette of a 60-something man on a running machine watching the right stuff is not going to communicate the message that people need to slow down, is it? Don't you have to represent a bit of a caricature that people understand?
Yeah, maybe the caricature is good, but on the whole, I think we need to have more dignity for old people. The papers have said recently the old people are being pushed aside, and there's not the respect now that there used to be. When we had families that lived closer together and were closer together, and the old people had a lot more respect. These days, they're just left aside. They don't get the health treatment. Right. This is what was in the paper last week. So we have to be careful how we betray older people.
All right, fair enough. Thank you for that contribution, Bob. Now, you've got one other person. Wait there. I want to get a call on first, because Charlotte... Amy, who's on the line?
I think it might be Charlotte.
It's
online too.
Hello, Charlotte. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Now, Charlotte, do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm over 80. I'm not going to tell you. I'm over 80.
She's over 80.
Yeah.
Now,
and I love the sign.
Charlotte loves the sign. Charlotte loves the sign. Carol, this is embarrassing. You thought you were representing Charlotte with your rant earlier.
It's not the least bit embarrassing. Let's hear what she has to say.
Charlotte, go ahead.
Carol, I tend to walk like that, Carol.
Oh, sweetheart.
And when I see it, I say, come on, Charlotte, breast out, tummy in, upright, so it helps me.
Well, so, Charlotte, you're saying that you don't walk like that. You're over...
I do walk like...
Oh, you do?
I walk a bit like... Yes, I walk a bit like
She's
that.
She's trying not to walk like that, but she does walk like that.
Come on, Charlotte.
My darling, at 80, it's fine if you walk like that. It's good that you're walking. Keep doing it, but do not think... that if you were say... No, listen...
Everybody moans about everything.
I know.
It's a bloody
No. Carol moans about everything.
It's fine.
Charlotte, listen.
Get alive.
I think people like you are fantastic. You just keep it up. Keep bringing shows like this and giving him jib.
Giving me jib? She
Yes.
agrees with me.
She's having a laugh.
That's the very spin that you would normally denounce.
She's toying with you. She's playing with you.
Hey, Charlotte, that was absolutely delightful to speak to you. Thank you very much indeed. And we didn't get a chance to go through the culture. Very, very
Well,
5
very quick,
seconds.
I mean, if you look at that sign, it does need updating. Is it only me who thinks it's actually a sign which says, beware of ageing female pickpockets?
You might be
I don't know.
You might be onto something.
I might be.
OK, thank you. Right, we'll leave that there for now. After the break...